Okay, this is just to help you work on Hamma Gets a New Phone if you're up to questions 36 to 38. Don't forget you can always ask me for help and I'm happy to make a video for you too. Okay, so in question 36, what are you asked to do? Well, what I've done is I've gone and grabbed the questions from the activity sheet and I've also gathered the data here from the previous page. So you can see this question is asking you to use the information on that previous page and decode a phone bill. So basically the questions are asking you how many times votes are happening, how much is the plan that Rose on, how much was her last bill, and that type of thing. So let's break down each question separately. Okay, question 36 asks how many times is Rose charged for asking? Well, if we look at these bills, they're usually broken up into 3 columns. So over here you've got the billed item. Here you've got the number of charges. And over here you've got the total cost of those charges. You'll see that there's 2 parts here too. There's the summary and there's the total charges down here. And this last little bit here tells you about the amount that's due and the due date. Sometimes bills will also give you details about the bill rate, so not just the bill item, like here. If I just underline this one here says calls. So calls is the item. Then they've said the details of that bill, so the bill rate. So here it says at 30 cents per 30 seconds. So that's the bill rate. And if you have a look here, it then tells you that there were 83 calls made. So that's the number of calls, the number of items in this bill. And then if we, so I'm just choosing another colour. If we look over this column, it says that the total cost of this bill for this item, so for the calls, was $49.28. This question asks you to find in this list where voting is. Now this question's a bit tricky because they've said how many times is Rose charged for voting, and it's actually asking you to make that link as vote charging here is written as vote connection in the bill. Okay. So what is the charge, the cost of vote connection? I'll let you find that answer out yourself. So in question 36, the question part B, it asks you from what date is she charged for ringtone. So again, it's asking you to go through this bill column in here and find out what the charge is. So from what date the charges are being made. And you'll see that sometimes behind the bill item, there's more details of the charge. So if you have a look behind ringtones, you should see the details of the charge, and that's where you'll find that date. In parts C, D, E, F and G, you're being asked to again have a look at that bill, but you're being asked in the total charges section of the bill. So that's this lower section down here. So I'll just block that out for you. So if you have a look there, you'll see that it lists what plan she's on and the total charge of that bill, how much it's due and when that payment's due. The question, why did she pay more on the cap on her last bill? It's asking you to explain what you know about capped plans. So you may know that when you get a cap plan, you might be on a $30 cap. That $30 cap has a certain number of included phone calls and SMSs and data charges. And if you go over that amount, you'll pay more. But if you go under that amount, you'll still pay that $30. So it's good if you're using almost all of your cap, but if you go over, you get charged quite a lot more. Okay, so what are you being asked to do in question 37 and 38? This is actually about you and your data, your phone usage or your friends or the data I put up on Compass for you. You need to look back at that number of calls, texts and the data usage and enter it into the website phonechoice.com.au, which is this one here. Okay. And when you type it into that website, it'll actually give you a table with all of the best plans for you. You can just use the snipping tool in the start menu under accessories and you can cut and paste using that tool the image of the screen and you can pop that into a Word document that along with the rest of your answers. And then you can use that data how much each call cost is, how many calls are included, what's data charged at. All of those details of the plan can be then made into a brochure using Word or Publisher to answer question 38. Okay. Just a reminder that there is actually a learning task set up on Compass for you to upload your answers and get feedback on them. I suggest you do that because it's the best way to learn, and it's a good habit for next year when we're going to be using this even more. Thanks.